FM, Jackson, Mississippi.
It's 7 a.m., let's rise and shine. So talks money, the futures align. Grab your coffee, let's take a ride. It's wealth and wisdom, time will rise. Author, Mr. Educator, sharing the wealth, building things you should do. From trust to breaking, it's all a must. Your guide to what is learning to trust. Legacy matters, security, right? Dreams take shape with every insight. Rules and assets, life insurance plans. Building for your future with expert hands. Money and more, building wealth with knowledge galore. Asset protection plans to grow. Tune in and watch your dreams overflow. From day to day, you trust for life. Breaking generational wealth divides. Healthcare directives, banking tips. We're here to help your fortune eclipse. From day to day, you trust for life. Breaking generational wealth divides. Healthcare directives, banking tips. We're here to help your fortune eclipse. And now it's time to learn. So wisdom's your return. Invest, protect, and thrive for sure. Signing off is gold, talks money and more.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's 7 a.m. and it's time to rise and shine for another edition of So Talks Money and More. I am your host, Dr. Sabrina Edmond Williams, educator, author, and investor, opening minds and closing contracts. I am so noted and I am so very excited to be here with my WMPR and WGDQ radio audience, my YouTube viewing audience, and this morning I decided to invite Facebook to the party. So we're on Facebook Live this fourth Monday in my birthday month. We're going to start the show off today with a few shout outs. I have to shout out one of my BFFs, my A1 from day one, Miss Tracy Robertson Day, who celebrated a birthday on yesterday. We had the honor of being with her on Saturday for a little girls' night, a little fun, had a great time, and just want to wish you a happy birthday, sweetie. Guess what? You have caught up with me. I'm not telling your business, not telling your age, but we know what it is. All right, moving on. Got to give another birthday shout out to one of my dear, dear friends, Miss Carolyn Jones, who's down there on the beach in Florida. Mr. Armstrong, I spoke with her briefly this morning, told her go put that bikini on and lay on the beach. She said I did, and everybody got off the beach. They all left. So I decided to put my clothes back on. So, Miss Carolyn, we're wishing you birthday wishes all the way down in Florida. We love you and hope that you have a safe trip back. We know that you went down for a funeral, and we are sending our prayers to your family in your time of bereavement, but just wanting you to know that we're thinking of you this morning, love you, and have a safe trip back home. Gotta also do a shout out to my coffee pot friend, Mr. Calvin. We connected this morning in the Shell station around the coffee pot. Mr. Calvin said, I thought that was you. Well, guess what, Mr. Calvin? It is me, Dr. Sabrina Edmond Williams. I was headed to my grind just like you. I hope you're having a good day. And stay tuned. Don't turn your radio off just because you heard your name. Dr. Williams has a few things to say. So hang in here with me, Mr. Calvin. And I look forward to seeing you next Monday around the coffee pot. All right, got to do a quick recap. On Saturday, I tell you now, last Monday, Mr. Armstrong, I was here in the studio, and I feel like what they call deja vu. Mr. Sherry Jones had me in here quite a bit last week. I had to work last week and just had a good old time here at WMPR. I was in the studio on Saturday, had the pleasure of welcoming Miss Alexis Noble, who is the owner of Vibe Studio Jackson. That's right, we have an art gallery right here in the city of Jackson. She's located at 1700 University Boulevard. It was so refreshing to talk with this young lady and learn about the things that she's doing over at Vibes and the creative space that she's providing for those individuals that have artistic talents, musical musical talents, she has created a space for you over at Vibe Studio Jackson. And she currently has an art exhibit entitled Mississippi, A Return to the Cocoon, artistry by Tony Luella Chalmers. And we're asking everybody to go out and support that art exhibit. She has actually extended the date of the exhibit through next Saturday, May the 31st. And we're asking people to go out and support, see what we have going on here in Jackson that's positive. You know, all you have to do is turn the news on, read the paper, go on the internet and see all the negative things that are going on in Jackson. But we want to challenge you to support those who are doing positive things within the city of Jackson. My understanding is that studio is open Wednesday through Saturday from 1 to 4 p.m. But this particular exhibit will be leaving this Saturday. The public viewing for the exhibit will begin at 5 p.m. on Saturday, and a panel discussion will follow at 7:30 p.m. So we are encouraging all who can and who will to go out and view the exhibit at Vibe Studio Jackson. That's at 1700 University Boulevard. Now, on yesterday, I actually had the pleasure of worshiping with my friends, Pastor Milton Miles and Sister Valerie Miles, down at the Mount Sinai Missionary Baptist Church in Richland for their Friends and Family Day. I am so honored. I was so honored to be down there with Pastor Miles. My good friend, Mr. Lee Clark, was in the audience. And Mr. Lee Clark, I tell you, I'm going to have to put Mr. Lee on the payroll. He's going to have to get the title of my publicist, because I tell you, Mr. Lee is telling everybody about what Dr. Williams is doing with this book and my messaging. And I thank you guys so very much for having me and allowing me to share with your congregation the things that we are trying to do for the community. Thank you so much. Everything was great. The food was great. Just had great fellowship. And I look forward to being back with the family down at Mount Sinai Missionary Baptist Church in Richland. Now, just a few upcoming events that I want to mention, and not just mention, I want to invite the public out to join me. I know I've met a lot of people on this journey. There's still a whole lot of others that I want to meet. So here are a few opportunities for you to meet Dr. Williams. The first one is coming up this Saturday, May the 31st. I will be in Clinton at the Christ Covenant Church International with Elder Rogers for a financial literacy workshop. And the title of that workshop is, Are You Tired of Being Broke? Are you tired of being broke? Well, if your answer to that question is yes, you're tired of being broke, we invite you. We extend the invitation to come out and join us. The event is scheduled to begin at 9:30 and end around 12:30 next Saturday. We encourage you to support the event, and that is Saturday, May the 31st in Clinton at Christ Covenant Church International. Now, the following Saturday, Dr. Williams will be here in Jackson. I'll be local, June the 7th, at the Mississippi Housing Expo. Now, I am super excited about this event. I'm honored and thrilled to serve and be a part of any event that I'm invited to. But certainly this event, which is hosted by my good friends over at Millennium Realty, will be held at the Mississippi Trade Mart Center. Now listen up. Free. Can you say free? The admission is free. Free food for the first 100 attendees. There'll be hourly cash giveaways and door prizes and free expert advice. Did you hear me, Mr. Armstrong? I said free, free, and free. How much freer can we get than that? We are inviting you, all of you, and especially our young people who want to learn about housing. Had an opportunity this past Saturday to engage in a conversation with a young lady. I think she told me she's 28 years old, a single mom, and she's interested in learning what she needs to do to become a home owner. So if you are that person, if you have people in your circle, in your family who need to learn about home ownership, please send them over to the Mississippi Housing Expo, which will be held here in the city of Jackson on Saturday, June the 7th. It is absolutely free. Come on down. We'll be talking credit, we'll be talking budgeting, mortgages, and down payment assistance. Home renovations, real estate lenders will be on site. Now, all you got to do is just show up. Just show up. Show up, learn, connect, and win. You can't do any of that if you don't attend. So we're inviting you. This event begins at 10 a.m. and it will run through 5 p.m. Again, this is hosted by Millennium Realty, and it will be held at the Mississippi Trademark Center on Saturday, June the 7th. Come on down. Dr. Williams plans to be there. We're going to be talking all things housing. And you know, Dr. Williams has just a little bit of experience when it comes to housing. I've only been a real estate investor for about 25 years, about half of my lifetime. So I got a few things that I can say and feed into you. So we certainly invite you to come out and join us Saturday, June the 7th. Now, the final event that I'm going to mention today, because I've got to jump into this monologue, it's a little bit further out, but I want you to go ahead and mark your calendars, especially my folks down in Hattiesburg that may be listening to the show this morning. On June the 22nd, that is, I believe, the fourth Sunday in June, I will be going home. I will be going back to my hometown. You know where I'm talking about. All y'all know Dr. Williams is straight out of Prentiss, Mississippi. I will be the speaker for my home congregation, Prentiss First Missionary Baptist Church. They have invited me to be the speaker at the Women's Day program. And I tell you, Mr. Armstrong, there is no honor like being invited back home. What did they say? A prophet is without honor where? In his own hometown. When your own hometown invites you back home, that's a big deal. I am super excited, and I gladly receive and accept the invitation to go back home and speak to my home congregation. We're going to be talking about the strength of a woman, the strength of a woman, at our Women's Day program on June the 22nd. The MC for the program will be none other than Dr. LaTanya Youngblood Pope. Yes, yes, yes. And hopefully she will bless us with that beautiful voice during the program. You guys have heard of Dr. Tanya Pope. She will be the MC for the program, and Dr. Williams will be the speaker. The doctors will be in the house. So we're inviting you to come on out and join us on Sunday, June the 22nd at Prentiss First Missionary Baptist Church in Prentiss, Mississippi. Now, with that being said, it's time for Dr. Williams to jump into this monologue this morning. And I just want to speak briefly. I got a question for you. How will you be remembered? How will you be remembered? Let's talk about it. Now, you guys know today is Memorial Day, and you also know that Dr. Williams is an educator. I love to educate my people. And because today is Memorial Day, I think this is a wonderful, wonderful opportunity to do a little educating, because many people do not understand the difference between Memorial Day and Veterans Day. Memorial Day and Veterans Day. Yes, I know many people acknowledge and are aware that they both have something to do with military personnel, but some of you may not clearly understand the difference between the two. Now, Memorial Day and Veterans Day both honor military personnel, but they have distinct purposes, very distinct purposes. Memorial Day, which is today, is the federal holiday set aside to remember and honor the U.S. military personnel who died while serving in the U.S. Armed Forces, particularly in battle or as a result of injuries that they sustained in battle. It is observed the last Monday in May and is also considered the unofficial beginning of summer in the U.S. So this day is set aside to remember and honor those who have died. So it makes you wonder. You often hear people say Happy Memorial Day. I'm not really sure, Ms. Armstrong, that that's even appropriate. When you're remembering someone's death, is it really happy? I don't know. We might need to rethink what we're saying. And I think, learning and really coming into the knowledge of what these days mean really will help us to understand what we're saying. So again, Memorial Day is the federal holiday set aside to remember and honor military personnel, U.S. military personnel who died while serving in the armed forces. Now, Veterans Day, on the other hand, is the federal holiday set aside to thank and honor all those who served honorably in the U.S. Armed Forces. It is observed on November the 11th and was originally known as Armistice Day or Remembrance Day, which commemorated the end of World War I, but was later changed to honor all U.S. veterans. So Memorial Day is honoring the dead, okay, and it's celebrated in May or recognized in May. Veterans Day honors those who served in the military, and it is held in November the 11th to be exact. Now, since we're doing some educating, I thought it appropriate to go ahead and throw in another lesser known holiday that is also relevant to this discussion, and that is Armed Forces Day. Armed Forces Day. We don't really hear a lot about that one, but it does exist. And that day honors those men and women who are currently serving in the armed forces. This holiday is observed the third Saturday in May. So actually, it was just observed, although we didn't get the fanfare and we didn't hear, that much about Armed Forces Day. We need to know these things. We need to know these things. So just to help you remember and make the distinction between the three, we commemorate those who died while serving on Memorial Day. We honor those who have served with Veterans Day, and then we celebrate those who are currently serving on Armed Forces Day. So I hope that helps you guys a little bit to understand the distinction between those days. I often hear people, that will say on Memorial Day, we want to honor the veterans. And, even though I think it's always appropriate to honor the veterans, you truly need to understand the distinct purposes of each one of these holidays. Now, that being said, we see how we have served those who have served in the armed forces are remembered. My question to my listening and my viewing audiences is this: how will you be remembered? We see that we have federal holidays set aside to remember those who have served, those who have paid the ultimate price. But my question to you is, how will you be remembered? Now, I'm not talking about, those individuals that may have served their country or their fellow men. I'm not talking about that. I am talking about your families. How will your families remember you? What have you done to ensure that you are leaving behind a legacy that outlives you? What have you done? Do you have your affairs in order? That's my question to you this morning. Have you put your things in order? Have you prepared your estate plan? What have you done? Are you leaving something behind for your family other than chaos and confusion? That's my question to you this morning. What have you done? Let me go a little bit deeper. Will your grandchildren or your great grandchildren even know your name? Will they even know your name? Now, you may think that's a far-fetched question, but research suggests that many Americans, including Black Americans, struggle to recall the names of all four of their grandparents. Do you know the names of all four of your grandparents? Do you know their names? Let alone the great grandparents. Now, some of us may know, you may know who your parents are, your grandparents. But when we start talking great grandparents and great great grandparents, we tend to struggle. One study suggests that only 4% of Americans could name all 8 of their great grandparents. So, what are you doing? What are you doing to ensure that your family will not be a part of that statistic, that 96% of individuals who don't know who their parents, their grandparents, their great grandparents are? One way to ensure that you are remembered is to do something to be remembered for. Let that sink in. Do something to be remembered for. Okay? Don't just live and then die. Do something to be remembered for. Live and leave a legacy behind. Something that lets your children, your grandchildren, your great grandchildren know that you didn't just live for yourself, like many of us do, living for today, living for ourselves with no forethought at all. No forethought, no forward thinking about those that will come behind us. Let them know that we were thinking of them. The word tells us that a good man leaves an inheritance, not for his children, but for his children's children. That means what? The grandkids, the great grandkids, they're thinking forward. Whether you ever get to meet them or not, are you thinking about them? Are you doing something to prepare for your children's children? What type of foundation are you laying for your children's children? Now, I know we're all familiar with that song. We hear that bass line come through, Miss Armstrong, and we know when we hear the Temptations hit that, Papa was a rolling stone. It said, wherever he laid his hat was his home. And when he died, how did he leave us? What did he leave us? All he left us was alone. Now, my challenge to you this morning is leave something other than alone behind for your kids. Leave something other than alone behind. You don't want to be remembered for leaving your kids, your family alone. Leave something other than alone. Leave something other than chaos and confusion behind for your family. Now, Dr. Williams, I know you're talking all that good stuff and it sounds good, but you just don't understand my family. You don't understand the dynamics of my family. You don't understand that starting that conversation about estate planning with my family is very difficult. Well, I get it. You just don't realize. I totally get it. But now, just because something is difficult does not mean that it's not necessary. We still have a responsibility to do those things that are necessary, even when they are difficult to do. Let that sink in. We still have a responsibility to do those things that are necessary, even when they are difficult to do. Now, I recently started So Talks Money and More, the podcast, which is an extension of this show, So Talks Money and More, the radio program. I started that podcast and I air the videos or share the videos on my YouTube channel, which is I Am So Noted. I am S.E.W. Noted. I did that as a means of helping us to start that much needed estate planning conversation with our friends and our family. And I invite you, my listening audience, to visit that channel and share those videos. Share them with those people within your circle who you know they don't have their affairs in order. You know you're going to have to pass the hat to put them in the ground. Share those videos. That's what they are there for. They are there for our learning. Now, I'm doing my part, Mr. Armstrong. I'm trying hard. I'm really trying hard. I don't know why this assignment has been placed on my life, but because the good Lord has placed it on my life, I am walking in the spirit of obedience and I'm doing my part. I am leading this conversation in our community on the importance of building, protecting, and properly transferring wealth. I'm leading. But now, as my good friend Pastor Miles said yesterday, as he put it, and I'm borrowing your words, Pastor Miles. I hope I don't mess it up. I am here to lead and feed you. But now it's up to you to follow and to eat. I'm going to say that again. I am here to lead and to feed you, but it's up to you to follow and to eat. Now, I've made the information available to you through my book, Learning to Trust. The book is available in print, digital, and audio versions. I'm making the information available to you weekly, every week right here on this radio program, every Monday. I made the information available to you through the YouTube videos. I made the information available to you through my Learning to Trust Estate Planning Bootcamp. I'm doing my part. I am doing my part to make sure that my people are no longer perishing for a lack of knowledge. However, it's ultimately up to you. It's up to you not to only be hearers of the word, but to be doers of the word too. Remember, my word for 2025 is implementation. Implementation. I can give you the education, the information all day long, but until there is implementation, your situation will not change. Say it again. I can give you the education, the information all day long through any means, radio, video, book, print, audio, all of those different mediums, information overload, as a matter of fact. But if you never implement, your situation is not going to change. We can no longer sit back and continue to do the same thing, expecting different results. It doesn't work like that. If we continue to do the same thing, guess what? we're going to get the same results. So as we close here, I ask the question, I go back to where we started. How will you be remembered? Will you be remembered as the person who watched things happen, talked about what happened, or wondered what happened? Or will you be remembered as the person who made things happen? The choice, it's yours. That being said, I see my time is coming to an end. I want to wish everybody out there a safe Memorial Day, and remember to take some time today to reflect. Today is a day of commemoration. Reflect on the sacrifices that have been made by so many. So many. It's been said that all gave some, but some gave all. They gave everything they had, their very lives, for us to enjoy the privileges and the freedoms that we share. Even though things may not be going the way that we would like for them to go in the country, it's okay. We got to remember, all things happen for a season, and we're just in a season right now, but seasons change. That being said, today is about commemorating those who paid the ultimate price. Until next time, peace.